we know that Princess Diana, Lady Diana, Princess of Wales, she's probably one of the most photographed women in the world of all time, wasn't she? In the time that
do you think she still is now?
She became Lady, from the time she became Lady Diana and became engaged to Prince Charles up until the moment of her passing. She was possibly the most photographed woman in the world
at the time.
At the time. And you still see pictures of her every now and again appearing.
Oh, of course you do.
She was iconic. And it's the case for any royal as well, but also any celebrity. And I've noticed for many years now, the look for a lot of celebrities. It's just not the women here, but the guys also, but mainly women. There is that pout look, isn't there? If you're a celebrity, the way they've perfected that. I think people play up to the camera more so than ever before, because I think people are being photographed even more than ever before, and you've got the whole Instagram look and everything. But there's a lot of people out there that more often than not look good in most pictures. And it's another rule, Kate Middleton. Now, I'm sure that she's been photographed many times not looking so good, okay, because, photographers are going to choose the pictures where she looks at her best.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kate Middleton is one of those things where I think also, you got to be careful what I say here, is that she's very much sort of in favour, isn't she? She's with the media. The media love her.
Yes, they do.
The UK media love her, and whereas Meghan Markle, not so much.
Not so much.
I've seen a lot of pictures of Meghan Markle when they've photographed her, and she's not looking great. She may have her face screwed up, or she's got a worried look on her face. And whereas Kate Middleton, you don't see that with Kate Middleton. Find me a bad picture of Kate Middleton in the papers, and you won't see it, but you'll find plenty of Meghan Markle. So it's very careful. They're very careful about what they want you to see as well.
Yeah.
But also, though, she is photogenic. But she also knows what she's doing as well, and a photographer, Olivia West, she's explains how Kate Middleton basically positions her chin, holds her arms, and goes through some essential poses that she does to make herself look good. Now, you photograph people, don't you? A lot of
I do. Yes, I do.
Graduates, at weddings and that type of thing. So you spend probably far more time than me in actually talking directly to somebody and positioning people. So you've got certain things that you look at, don't you? Knowing that you're going to make somebody look good and flattering.
Yeah, I mean, doing what I do is very different to maybe, because I don't take many pictures of celebrities who have had this type of training. So I generally take pictures of Joe Public, essentially, whether it's weddings, graduations, or families. So, I don't. Yeah, there's some posing techniques that I use, twisting the body and all that kind of stuff. But generally, for me, it's about putting people at ease. That is the biggest thing I have to overcome, which I guess, and I have taken pictures of models as well, and it is a different thing. It is a different thing. With a model, you can say, right, we want this effect, or we want you to put this across, and they're trained to do it, and they'll pull it across, and is this right? No, just lift your shoulder up a little bit, and they go, oh yeah, I know what you're doing, and they just know. That's very different with with the public, because most of us, I would suggest, don't like having a photograph taken.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, and Kate Middleton's obviously she's trained to do this, isn't she?
Yeah, well, I mean, she's obviously the palace have had a well versed, haven't they?
Yeah,
and I guess with Meghan Markle, she'll have been well versed, not just from the palace, but she was Hollywood, wasn't she? So I guess will have had some training. It's just
of course, she's an actress, isn't she?
She's an actress, so
most people.
Yeah, she probably does.
But I've got four things here where it's been noted that what Kate Middleton does, and these are all things that as when people are out there, all photographers taking pictures, people are worth bearing in mind. So number one, it says that she sticks her chin out when she's smiling. It says the Princess of Wales manages to light up any public event with her regal smile and has a trick for not doing a chinny grin. It's explained that Kate always does the out and down with the chin, which makes your face look much better. most people bring their chin back when they're smiling, causing a kind of chinny grin, which isn't flattering. And it says, this photographer says, I always tell people to imagine they are looking over a fence.
Yeah.
You slide your chin over, then just dip the chin. You can't pull it back because the fence is in the way. Right. So why don't people practice that out there? So you imagine that you're looking over a fence, you slide your chin over, then you dip your chin, and you can't pull it back because the fence is in the way.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
I mean, that's not something I could tell my families to do in the way that because I don't like do old school sitting and posing, or just lift your chin up and then everyone look at the camera and say, that's not how I do it. I don't do it like that. It's a lot more natural and a lot more about fun and games.
Yeah. So Kate has been trained to always keep her chin parallel to the ground. It says the fashion pro added she doesn't tilt it down, she doesn't tilt it up. And that ensures a flattering photograph every single time. So, and the chin is the big thing, isn't it? How many people do you see people say, oh no, look at my double chin or my triple chin and all of that. Oh, my chins look terrible, and so that's one of the hacks. Number 2, Kate Middleton holds her arms out for a slimming effect. So there's a picture of her with a like a clutch bag, and she's holding it probably at about the height of her belly button with both hands. And if you imagine doing that, putting your hands as if like you're just crossing your hands over where your belly button is, if you rather than having your elbows tucked in, you just pull them out a little bit. Okay, you just pull them out, and I can see the picture that they've done where she showed.
But that's optical illusion, isn't it? Because basically what you're doing is you're getting a gap between the inside of your elbow to the side of the body, so you can see through. So it shows off the figure. Whereas if you have your elbows really close, there's no gap, and it just makes you look a bit wider.
So it says during public engagement, Kate often has to be on her feet and stylish stilettos for an extended period of time. And it says, but she's polished the way that she stands. And it says the photographer continued by saying, when she is standing, she often holds her arms in front of her waist. This makes what you're saying. This makes a gap between her arms and body, which shows off her svelte figure and is a very slimming pose. And then number 3, she only waves from the elbow. And
but so you don't see the armpit, I guess.
I don't know. It says even when she is just waving, she only moves the arm from the elbow. Right, trying that now.
Well, I mean, who else used to do that quite a lot?
Yeah, she doesn't move her entire arm. And number 4, it says she keeps her shoulders down when smiling. It says Kate also has a simple trick for keeping her stance looking elegant when she is smiling at an event. It says Olivia advised she keeps her shoulders down where a lot of people raise them when they're smiling. Basically, so and I'm sure some not very flattering pictures have been taken of her, but they're obviously going to pick the ones that are the best and show. I'm sure there's been pictures taken where she's got her elbows tucked in. I'm sure there's pictures where she's got her chin down, or she's got her chin up. But she knows how to work the camera. Now, one of the reasons why I was also talking about this is I've noticed on social media that there's been these little reels that are coming up where a photographer has a picture of a person or of a couple, and the photographer, and it's a he, the one that I've seen. So the photographer goes up to, say, the person that he's taken a photo of, and it's a lady just standing there. And what he does, he very carefully and quickly positions her body, her shoulders, her arms, her elbows, puts her hand in a pocket, one foot in front of the other, gets her to look one way, then the other, and then takes the photo. And in a matter of a few seconds, it's a very, very flattering pose. Or it shows the person just sitting down, and they're just sitting down with their shoulders slumped, they're sitting on a bench, and the photographer will go up, they'll change 3 or 4 positions, move this, move that, and they'll make that person look incredibly flattering. And I found these reels to actually be really educational. And they're basically posing tips, and there's a lot of posing tips that are out there. And I think if you're a photographer who, if you photograph a lot of people, all of the time, a lot of them are wedding ones. And some of the posing tips for weddings are absolutely incredible. I think I can do it, and I can do it very quick. But some of the stuff that these people are doing, the poses that they're creating are very natural poses. Yes, that they don't look posed, but they've just got the people to look very, very flattering.
Well, twisting of the body is a big one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's very rare. I don't like shooting people front on.
Yes.
You know, it's always shoulders, and then you twist the body, look that way, and ever, and
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. So there's a lot of that, but in other words, that if you photograph people, look at these posing tips. If you photograph people on a regular basis, it's even more important that you study these things. If you're a wedding photographer, look at how couples are being posed, because you can do it really quickly. Now, what you don't want to do is look at these and think, God, how am I going to remember this? You only need to remember one or two.
yeah.
And then once you've got those one or two, that's all you need to remember. Then jump on another one or two after that, and then jump on another one or two. Because at a wedding, if you've got 5 poses, that gives you plenty of poses by the time you've adapted and tweaked those poses as well.
Because essentially, what this photographer, what you said, you've been describing there is you're not really creating a pose; you're just modifying how they're already posing.
You make exactly, and that's what you're doing.
You're just making it better. You're not inventing a pose, you know. You're not going, right, I want you to get off that bench and I want you to come and stand over here and I'm going to get you to do. Yeah, that's not what they're doing. They're seeing someone sat on the bench and they're going, okay, just lift your arm up or make your elbows or you know, lift your chin up, you know, that kind of thing. That's all they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah. And to be fair, you know, they're using photogenic people in these reels anyway, which does help. Okay. You know, and so that, you know, they're not doing it with your sort of everyday Joe blogs, right? As it were. They're using people that are going to look good in photos. Thing is, you know, you've got a wedding and you're going to get people of all shapes and sizes, and you've got to be able to adapt to that. So whether you've got somebody who's very, very slim or somebody who's a little bit bigger built, you've got to adapt for that, for those people's body shapes and those people's body sizes, because it doesn't matter what your body shape is, how you are, whether you're tall, whether you're sort of shorter, or, you know, whether you're bigger or slim or whatever, those, you know, you can still, there's still poses for all of those people to make them look really good and to make them look flattering as well, and to make them look natural. But
also lens selection is a good help there. I know that's a slightly different thing. You know, don't stand close with your wide angle, because that can make arms look massive.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
the shoulders look massive.
That's right. Yeah, there's so much out there, but you know, you go out with a 50 mil, a fixed 50 is a great way to practice, I think, because that's a great way for you as a photographer to move backwards or forwards. You're not really going to get any distortion, anything. You can only go so close with a 50. And that's a really good thing to practice. And for some of you might think, oh, well, I don't have a 50. I've only got a 24 to 120, but just zoom your camera to 50 and leave it at 50.
You have got a 50.
Sorry, I know it sounds daft, but I've been in this situation where people said, oh, I don't have a 50. Okay, forget the depth of field and all of that, but you've got that 50 on your lens, right? Or some people say, you know, oh, I wish I had an 85 mil prime. Yes, a prime. Yes, we know the depth of field. You're going to get all of that, but just zoom in to 85 on your camera and just leave it at 85. And move yourself backwards and forwards. Try that. It's a great thing to do. You know, for posing people, because now more than ever before, people are so fussy about the way they look because of the whole Instagram culture when they're taking so many selfies.
Absolutely.
You know? So it's all educational. It's all about practicing. It's all about learning, because you can never sort of gain enough knowledge. You know, you're always out there as photographers. There are people out there that are pushing the boundaries. Somebody new will come up and going to come up with new ideas, new ways of working, new ways of, and follow those trends, follow those ideas and introduce your own styles to them.